G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry, it's a bit windy again here today. We're just ordering some microphones and things like that, so hopefully that'll help us cut the wind out of these videos a bit more. So what have we been up to this weekend? Well, a fair bit actually. We've got a bit more left to do. We'll take you down and give you a bit of a tour around our veggie garden that we've got going down there. We're going to do some clean up down there today, a bit of mulching and a bit of replanting ready for our winter crop, so that'll be fun. But so far what we've been up to out here is we've marked in a couple more swales this morning, which was good fun. So we've now got 3 swales down our first part of the section here on 20 metre centres. So we'll look at getting them dug when the ground's a little wetter. Now we did get some rain last night, our first rain of the season, so that has been really good. I think we got about 20 mil, which was nice. Yeah, so we'll start softening up this ground a little bit over the coming weeks. So far down here, 3 swales marked in. We've marked in a 15 metre exclusion zone for trees around the house. So when we had the big fires here in 2J, one of the rules was you couldn't plant any trees within 15 metres of your house. So yeah, we're just going to mark that out with a paint marker and some pegs, and we've marked out some exclusion zones. So what this will represent is the trafficable area around the back of the house. So we can bring our water truck in to top up our water tank when we have to. So far this summer we've done that 3 times, so it's starting to get expensive. We spent about $1,000 on water this summer alone, so yeah, it's been pretty full on. Haven't been able to catch enough water through the winter time. So anyway, so exciting times going ahead. So we've got our 3 swales down there, and yeah, we'll keep working our way down the block over the next few weeks. We'll bring you that profile when we get to it as well. And yeah, a couple more weeks we might be able to start doing some digging. Alright, I'm going to cut it there for a minute and we'll get set up. We'll take you down the veggie garden, show you a bit around there. Yeah, g'day guys, welcome back again. So as you can see, we're down in front of our wicking bed project that we started off last year. We bought 4 IBCs and made 8 beds out of those. I'm hoping to secure some more IBCs this year and set up another 4, and that'll give us 16 altogether. So that'll give us a real good area to be able to grow our veg in. So as you can see, we've got some beds that are looking a little bit ratty. Our corn in particular down this end, that's finished off pretty well. We've got about 20 or 30 cobs off of those corns this year, so had a really good year for corn. As you can see here, we've got some pumpkin out on the ground, pumpkin vine, and have had a terrible year with pumpkins. Have not had one single bloody pumpkin off the pumpkin patch. So I've had a gutsful now, so we're ripping them out, and we're going to just rebuild the bed and plant some onions and beetroot in there going forward. So we've got a watermelon in there as well, a little sugar baby watermelon that's gone quite well this year. I think we've had about four decent watermelons off there. So that was pretty nice. What else let's go for a walk. I'll show everyone else what else we're doing around here. So, you know, like I said last week, we made a few mistakes this last year and we learned a few lessons. We tried co-planting at one stage. So in our zucchini bed here, now the zucchinis, they're pretty well done for the year. I'm not going to bother too much more with those. We've had about 40 zucchinis off of the plants this year, so we've done really well. I made some nice, about 4 kilo of zucchini pickle a couple of months ago. We've managed to eat all of that, and it was bloody yummy. So, so I originally had cabbages in this bed with the zucchinis, and didn't think it through very well. In that, forgot that zucchinis grow flowers and they need to be fertilised by bees. So I put a net over the whole bed, and then couldn't work out why I wasn't getting any zucchinis. A bit of a rookie mistake, really. I've grown zucchinis before, so I should have known better. But so we're focusing a little more on what we're planting in the same beds. So in the corn bed, for instance, this one today, we're going to rip that out. We're going to just stick it through the mulcher and dig it back into the soil. I'm going to put some cabbages. I'm going to put some broccoli and cauliflower in those beds. The zucchini bed's going to have the the overflow of the cabbages that I got, because I've just bought some punnets this year. I've got some seeds for collie and broccoli we're going to put in with the cabbages in that bed. And I bought some punnets of cabbages yesterday, so we'll plant out 3 in each bed, and then we'll do some broccoli and collie seeds in bed 1. Bed 2, we'll put the broccoli and collie seeds in about another fortnight, so we've got that rotational cropping going on. And the third bed up the other end there, we're going to put onions and beetroot in there once we get all of those vines out of there. So that's our idea there. Okay, we'll come down to the next few. So we've got our tomatoes there, poor tomatoes. Cocked up really badly this year with those. Didn't stake them early enough. But we're still getting some tomatoes off it, but they're pretty rugged. So yeah, we're getting a lot of loss to bugs as well, and or possibly even rabbits, I don't know yet, but they're not the greatest. But anyway, for living and learning, next year we're going to go to some cherry tomato alternatives. I think we might get a bit of runoff of that. Yeah, I normally stake these up, and I tried to give it a go, but they got a little long and leggy and didn't succeed very well. But look, you know, we've had about 20 or 30 tomatoes off it. That's not bad, I suppose.
And the lettuce.
Oh, the lettuce, yeah. Look, we haven't had much joy with lettuce this year. We've been bolting away to seed a lot, as you can see. And anyway, I'd say next weekend or the weekend after, we'll probably be cleaning that one out and getting ready to go with another crop or something else. We've got a capsicum bed. We've got a heap of capsicums coming along, as you can see. Yeah, heaps of them. Look at those. Beautiful.
And that poor one in there is stuck in the arch of the thing.
Stuck in the fork, yeah. Anyway, we put that in with some cucumbers, so we're still getting a few cucumbers out of it, but yeah, they're not far off getting ripped out either. I think the old curies are just about done. I made some nice bread and butter pickle with those this year, so as we get some product out of the garden, I'll show you how we make our pickles, and there'll be another different learning. Oh, a little chilli there. Yeah, we'll see. It's gone okay. What do we got over this one, Carl? We've got
Eggplant.
yeah, some Lebanese eggplants. They're going great guns.
Look at that big boy.
I know, have a crack at that, hey? Make your mum proud, that one. There you go. We've got some beauties on there. We've had a heap of these this year. Very prolific growers. Really happy with those. We had over the back of this bed, we had a truck ton of carrots. I got a little carrot crazy last winter, and I pulled all of them out a couple of weeks ago. And
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
they got a little bit too close together, so turned the greens into mulch, so that's been working quite well as a live mulch on the beds. And yeah, last year we were together, so turned the greens into mulch, so that's been working quite well as a live mulch on the beds. And yeah, last year we planted out our carrots. We got a little bit too close together. They're a little bit on top of each other. So, but, you know, like I say, we made some fundamental mistakes, but we'll turn that around this year. Got some more of those Lebanese eggplants in here. They're looking pretty nice too. We're getting a few off of those. Carrots, we've got a truckload of carrots here. Same sort of deal. Got a bit crazy with sowing my seeds out, and it turned a bit messy. So.
Oh, the oregano's gone.
We're still getting good little edible carrots out of it.
And you also got oregano.
Yeah, we've got some oregano in there as well. Yeah, that's actually gone all right. Anyway, so yeah, you can see we're getting product out of the garden anyway. I'm not unhappy with the results, but I think we can always do better, right? So what else we got over here, mate?
Carrots.
More carrots again. Like I say, we've got a little carrot crazy. Whole lot of basil, which is running away to seed, which we'll collect when that dries out a little bit. You can see all the bees buzzing around. Yeah, we've got a wild beehive down in one of the trees down here. We can't access the honey, but the bees are certainly coming up and pollinating. We've got a heap of Italian parsley there. Chives in that bed too, Carl.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of thyme here that's sort of been protected by the parsley. We killed a few thyme bushes this year, but it seems to be hanging in there. So anyway, so the idea behind these wicking beds.
Oh, and the spring onion over here.
Oh yeah, there's Carl's spring onion that he planted out of the kitchen. So he had some greens left and put it in the garden, and that's gone absolutely mental. So well done to
Can you
Carl.
see the onion in there?
Yeah. That's the biggest spring onion I've seen. So anyway guys, so the idea behind these wicking beds was to try and save ourselves some water. So as you know, with the top-down watering gardens, you get a lot of evaporation out of the soil. These wells are around about 100 litres per garden bed, and we fill them up from the standpipes. Just turn around to this one, Carl. Fill them up through these standpipes that go down into the well. You're not going to see much down there, but anyway. In the front's a drain, just made out of some PVC plumbing parts, and the actual soil level starts around about here. So you can see on the marker that I left here, I put some paint tape on there and painted over the top, so it gives us a little bit of an indicator of where the water levels are. So in the bottom of there's some 100mm stormwater pipe. Drilled a heap of holes in it. We've attached it to a piece of 50mm by 50mm mesh, steel mesh, galv mesh. We've attached 5 feet to the bottom of those. We've put geotextile fabric down into each of the legs, backfilled it with sand, compacted it, and then we put more geotextile on top, cut some holes where the legs were, put another layer of 100mm sand on top of that. We cut through the geotextile to make sure there's sand on sand contact, so we get that wicking up through the sand. Then on top of the sand is we brought in about 3 cubic metres of vegetable and fruit soil mix.
And dynamic lifter.
Oh, there's a truckload of dynamic lifter in there. There's all sorts of things going on in there. So yeah, it's pretty good soil. As we replant these, what I like to do is hit them with a bit of wetter soil. They can get a little dried out on the top surface during the summer months. So we'll give it a hit of that with the winter coming on now, and that'll help with the rain penetration. So anyway, that's a bit of a general tour of our veggie garden. So we'll bring you some more shots of that over the winter time as we go. But right now, we'll get some tools together, and we'll start refurbing these 3 beds, and we'll bring you back when we're set up and ready to go.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
making this mulch. We'll put all this back into that bed and dig it through. Organic material in there. Might help break up that soil. That soil's pretty heavy, as you saw on those roots before, right? So it hasn't had any water in that reservoir for over 2 weeks. So we'll chuck this in and give it a bit of something to build up the body in that bed. But in the meantime, we'll get the rest of these beds cleared out. We'll chuck them through the chipper chopper. Then we'll get back into rejuvenating the beds and getting some plants sorted out in there. Well, as you can see, guys, we've got a fair bit of gear out of those beds. I've had a bit of a change of mind. I'm not going to dig this back into the beds today, it's too green. So I think what we'll do is we'll set up a bit of a compost heap and dig it back into the next lot of beds as they come due. So I've actually got a compost tumbling down at my old girl's place I'm going to go and pick up as well. So I think that might be next weekend's job. Get that up here and get this gear in. Alright, no worries. Well, we'll start turning over these beds in a minute and start planting out and we'll be good. Alrighty, come back to you soon. Yeah, no, back over the beds, guys. So we're going to turn these over. I've got some of my favourite compost here from Osmocote. I only got 2 bags yesterday from Bunno's, so I've got some compost there that are citrus and fruit, so I'll chuck them in one of the beds. I like to use the old dynamic lifter as a bit of a fertiliser in there. I've got some triple C mulch, it's got corn and chicken manure in it, all sorts of fun stuff. And wetter soil, it's a beauty, just to get things rolling. So I don't know we're going to need a lot of it in this bed, but we'll see how we go. We'll turn them over and we'll get it done. Alright, here we go. Just level this bed off as well. That's all bloody beautiful. And this is just the mulch that I've chucked on top of last time. Had a bit of organic matter. So last winter the kids went and started catching worms around the property and chucking them in here. I haven't seen any in here, but I might do the same again this year. We've got the worm farm now, so.
Or we could go just buy worms.
Nah, they're composting worms, mate. Don't want to put them in your garden beds. They'll eat all your plants. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice, eh?
Yep.
What do you reckon? Alright, so get some cabbages. Alright. So here we go. I've got these little cabbages from Bunnings yesterday. I'll even give you a gander. Sugar brown, they're called. Sugar bowl, sorry, sugar bowl. So I did start some seeds off earlier, a couple of last week, and yeah, slow down, son. Slow down, son. Yeah, they all killed over and died. I work in Perth, so I'm away at least 3 days a week. So this time of year and the heat, it's a bit hard to get the seeds going. But anyway, so what we'll do with these, as I said earlier, we're going to put well, one of these 30 centimetres apart. I reckon you're probably a little close there, so that's all right. I'll just step them out here a little bit. Go one about here. We're going to put cabbage, probably collie in the same beds this year, so we can cover them up with insect nets straight away. Okay, 30 centimetres, yeah, I reckon that's about right. going to put collies and broccoli in that first bed, and we'll sow direct. And I'll wait on this one a couple of weeks, just so we're not got everything finishing all at the same time. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty nice. Okay, we'll go down to this bed here. Okay, second bed. Tell you what, mate, you want to fill up a couple of those green watering cans for me? Yeah, good idea. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to mulch both these beds right the way across, and I'll wet down the soil where I'm going to put the seeds, because I don't like to water the seeds in because I tend to wash them away out of the soil and get a little heavy-handed. So I'm going to wet the soil down first, and then we're going to plant into that when it's nice and moist. I don't even think we need any wetter soil in this at the moment, but anyway, so there we go. Some of our mulch. Sugarcane mulch. A little bit dry, it's been sitting in the shed a little while, but that's alright. Oi, settle down, son. Alright. Finish mulching this bed off and we'll get that water in. We're not going to put anything else in this bed for a couple of weeks yet. But we've got the cabbages in there. Next weekend we'll go get another insect net, put over these cabbages. Keep the white moths off of them. Meantime, we'll mulch them up nice so we're not getting any evaporation out of the beds. We are coming up into our autumn/winter now in Western Australia, so it's going to start cooling off a little bit anyway. Alright mate, hit that side. Chuck a little bit of water on here just to keep it, stop it blowing away with the wind. Alright, they're all looking pretty good. Beautiful. Alright, let's go back over to this side and we'll put some collies and broccolis in here, eh? Oh yeah, still pretty moist in there. Like it when it's all moist, that's good. People don't like that word, moist. I don't understand why, but anyway. What do you do? None of those just yet, champ. We're going to do some of these first. I bought these broccoli seeds last year they didn't do very well. We'll give them another crack this year and see if we got it. Get it right this year, eh? Go look for some better seeds. Where? There's a seed. Whereabouts? That's it, nice and simple, eh? Get a little dibble like this. Little dibble. But that didn't work very well, did it? Okay, groovy. Righto, we'll see how they go. Let's chuck some of these collies in. See how they go. Seeds at least per hole. We can always thin them out if we need to.
That's wrong on the seeds.
Yeah, that's nice. Small ones out there, we'll just close those holes up a little bit like that. And that should do the job there. Oh yeah, thanks mate. Alright, you want to get that net there, mate?
Yeah, it's over there.
Right, let's chuck it over this way now. Oh, I'll tell you what, might pay to run inside and grab some of that black stretchy twine and might tie him on with that, eh? Yeah, you know where it is? Hey?
No, I don't.
Alright, I'll go get it. Alright, we're going to net this bed up. It's a pretty big net because I thought when I was using it on those other beds I had it on top of stakes, but I think next time we can just get 2 metre ones and not put them up on stakes, just put them down on top of the veg like this. So I've got some of this stuff. It's like a stretchy twine product. It's a good garden tie. So we'll tie this around so keep the bugs out. Yep.
Oh.
Oh. That's the way, son. Bring him around. Got some scissors here. Last year we had some beautiful cabbages going, and the bloody moths got them all. I was absolutely gutted. They got into me broccolis, but we managed to be able to salvage quite a few broccolis because they generally only go for the leaves. But the collies, they decimated, the cabbages, they decimated. It was a bloody shit show. So anyway, that's that bed. We'll check in a week or so and see if we've got some seedlings coming up. Alright, let's knock off this last bed. This last bed we get a little peek through. Alright, well there it is folks. 3 beds rejuvenated today. So we've got broccoli, collie and cabbage in this bed. We've got some cabbage. I ended up having to put some onions in here because we had a punnet of onions and we outgrew the other bed up the top there. So we've got onions in with the cabbages, and we've got some beetroot and onions up in the top bed there. So we'll check in a couple of weeks. We'll give you a look, see how things are going. But in the meantime, we'll check out the couple of fruit trees that we planted this year, and we'll give you a bit of a walk on that, and then we'll wind it up. Okay. There we go. This is Carl's mango tree that he bought. He's a bit of a mango freak. He loves his mangoes, and they saw it at Bunnings and said, I think I need to buy a mango tree. So yep, no worries mate. So we built this grow ring, I suppose. We had a bit of a raised garden bed out of some corrugated colour bond I had down at the shed. So well, yeah, that's a good deal. We'll do that. So this is growing fantastic. So basically everything above the union is all brand new growth. Really nice. We need to get this out though. So, but so far so good. It's looking fantastic, and yeah, bugs aren't going too hard on it. So we'll see how we go. We might even get some fruit in about 2 years' time. This is one of our little apple trees we put in this year. So actually gone really quite well. I had to wrap it up in this frost cloth because the wind was really giving it a hard time. But all in all, going beautifully. Now, this one's called a Tinkerbell. It's a dwarf red apple.
No, that's the Tinkerbell.
No, this is Tinkerbell.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a dwarf Tinkerbell, red dwarf. So I'm a bit confused. Getting all these people telling me you got to cut your apple trees all the time. I got another guy who says don't worry about cutting apple trees; they'll work it out themselves. So you know what? I'm just going to take that dude's advice. I'm not going to cut these. I will, however, weigh down these lateral stems though, because these are the fruit-bearing stems. So next year, before it starts growing and these stems get too big, we'll weigh them down a little bit. And yeah, there's actually some of these at Bunnings. They had them there. They were actually in flower and fruiting. So this one's going really well. It's down to the grafty union. That's looking really nice as well. Nice sturdy grafty union down the bottom there. So excellent. And over here we have our what's it called? The apple leprechaun. It's like a Granny Smith, dwarf Granny Smith. Now this one, you need this and the Tinkerbell together because they cross-pollinate each other.
And the bugs are getting at it as well.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. Bugs won't eat it. So we're actually seeing some nice bud growth coming along now. It's taken a little while. This one's been a little bit tricky. It's taken a little while to establish. The graft union down the bottom there is not looking really great, but you know, pretty soon it's going to go into winter mode, so it'll lose all its leaves. But hey, look at all these. Last but not least, over here. Eureka lemon. And some friends of ours down in Perth, Barry and Jenny, bought us this as a bit of a housewarming gift, I suppose you'd say. But doing really well. Again, we built one of these raised beds out of Colorbond. Get those roots up out of the clay. I'm pretty sure there's probably roots down in the clay now, but a lot of these have pretty surface roots under that grass mulch there. So, but look, it's going beautifully, as you can see. We've got a couple of little lemons on there already. Don't know if they're going to come to fruition. I came a little bit early in the season, but I just gave it a fertilise in February there, and we'll fertilise again in spring, and get some lemons this week. So anyway, that's a bit of a tour, folks. Oh, I forgot about your peach tree, mate.
No,
That's all right. We'll show the guys next time. So anyway, we'll sign off for now. Thanks very much for coming back. We've got 7 subscribers after our first 2 videos last week. So thanks very much for subscribing. 53 views across the 2 clips so far. So excellent. People are having a look at us, which is really great. Hope you're enjoying the content. Please like, subscribe and hit the bell. And we'll see you next weekend. Thanks very much.